I do think that already people have learnt from COVID that the rise in costs through there, it doesn't go down. So if you want to get in there, get in now, because today's the best price that you're going to get.
Yeah, interesting. When it comes to variations, what is there a specific variation that has the biggest impact on a project? Like, is it weather? Is it anything kind of specific or?
Yeah, authority delays. You might not, again with power, you might not get power, you might not get water to your site for 3, 6, 12 plus months.
Wow.
And that's going to have a big impact on what the builder has to allow for. So if they're going to have to allow for generators, that's coming at a significant cost compared to actually getting something from the authority mains. That's, yeah, big impact. And it's very hard to pinpoint when you're actually going to get that. You can ask all the questions in the world, but a lot of authorities will work at their own pace and they're not necessarily going to jump when you desperately need it. They've got a lot of work to do and we're one of the pile.
Yeah, definitely. Now, if the project does go sideways, what are the expectations from the client where you have to kind of jump in and solve items? What is it like a checklist you're going through of things that they've issued to you that are problems? Is it you finding these problems and taking them to the client? I guess, what do they expect you that's not written in the contract that's the reason that they're engaging you and getting this repeat work from these clients?
We're often engaged to be their eyes and ears, keeping it on the day-to-day, making sure that we're on top of everything that's going on so that they don't have to do that. They can work on their next project. We will raise those, I guess, the larger issues that may have an impact and just give them a heads up. So forewarning, I think clients do appreciate rather than just keeping everything away from them. But we are here to manage those problems as well. So if we can fix a problem before it goes to the client, all the better. That's exactly what we're here for, so that they don't have to do that work. And we use our expertise. Yeah, we'll jump in. I may jump in more than what I should, but I've worked builder side, landlord side, consultant side, tenant side, done them all now. So I know those problems that come up, and I'd say a lot of the time I know a way to fix them, whether that's an impact of the project or we can get it passed. Personnel issues as well. There could be something happening on site that could be affecting momentum, could be affecting costs, could be affecting anything there. That's something that we will try and manage, but we'll make the client aware of, just so that we're onto it. We've advised the right people going above those personnel or anything like that. Again, if a contractor happens to go under, which happens from time to time, unfortunately, then suddenly the main contractor doesn't have that subby. And that can have a massive impact to the project. We've had it with an apartment building, a glazier went under when they hadn't sealed up the building. The builder was very good in managing that. They really were. But keeping them aware that it could very well have a time impact, and then depending on the contract that's been signed, then it could have cost impact as well.
Cool. Now, what I've kind of taken from that and what you've mentioned is trust is just a really important piece of that relationship between a project manager and that either client or developer or whoever you're engaging. Now, to have those tough conversations with a client, you have to have built that trust. Now, I guess we'll take a step back from Adaptis and have a look at industry. And I guess with the way that industry's been the last few years, I guess some investor uncertainty around builds. You mentioned it before, contractors, and I guess some instability in terms of their position. What's your kind of view on the client's development pipelines that you're working with? Is there, I guess, challenges getting the projects moving forward at the moment? Is the industry kind of hitting that wave where we were kind of pre-COVID? What's your thoughts on industry right now?
Rising with the increase in fuel prices, and then that has a knock-on effect with plastics and materials and rates for travel deliveries. That does have a big impact. Over the last few years, a lot of projects have sort of been balancing on a knife edge, whether they're feasible or not. Rents aren't going up. Sale prices have been, but then after budget, then they may slow down. We'll see how that goes. Actually, new builds, we'll see. So yes, I do see potential for things to slow down just when developers are wondering whether they're going to get their return. Now, I do think that already people have learnt from COVID that the rise in costs through there, it doesn't go down. So if you want to get in there, get in now, because today's the best price that you're going to get. So if it's going to be a long-term asset, it's going to return, it's going to continue returning that investment over a long time, and you might be able to spread that investment over that time and get that return eventually. So they are looking at different ways to get that return. But yeah, as to how that goes, we'll see very soon. We still do have developments that are going ahead though. So there's motivated developers out there.
Yeah, definitely. How does, I guess, with this uncertainty in the market, and you mentioned today is the best price, and I guess getting in and doing it is the best way to do it. How does Adaptis approach this work with clients? Is it, I guess, building the trust and giving them certainty that today is the best time to do it? Or is it just, I guess, using what they've got and building a bit of a business case for it to build it? I guess, how's your approach to dealing with this with clients with the current sphere of market?
So we'll remind them of the trends of the market, that it goes up, it doesn't typically go down, whether they are seeing stagnant rates in terms of their sales figures or leasing figures as well. We'll say, yep, that's the return you're going to get. Is there somewhere else that we can look at some value engineering to make sure that this does stack up? We know that this is going to go up in price. We expect this is going to go up in price. We could look at locking in the contractor earlier in terms of a D&C arrangement, or lump sum D&C, or whether the client would prefer to take more of a risk-based approach and say go cost plus, or rely on the consultants and their design team to make sure that everything's documented in those cases. I personally am leaning more towards getting contractors involved earlier, locking that price in. There will always be some clarifications around, but you negotiate that as part of the contract process and the agreement process. If you get a builder in early as well, you're going to rely on their expertise to make sure you get the best outcome. These guys are boots on the ground. They see it every day. They've dealt with every problem, and they've probably dealt with more problems than what we all have in that sphere. They know how to make things work. They see the trends quicker than what we do, and developers do. They're a great asset. Good main contractors, working with them, because in the end, if the development doesn't go ahead, they don't have any work either. So they're very motivated to assist and make sure this project does stack.
Mate, thank you so much for jumping on. This has been awesome. And I think the viewers are going to love these responses. So really appreciate you sharing a bit about Adaptis, around your scope, your process, and then your thoughts on AI, because we know that you're prevalent in the industry, and we can't wait to see Adaptis keep taking over these projects.
Thank you. We should have more projects jumping into Mastt, and we'll grow together.
Fantastic. Can't wait. Well, Josh, hope you have a great day, mate. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to know more about construction and get all the professional tips, tricks, and AI advice from real construction project managers, follow this channel for more insights.